Um, as advocates, we know that there is a lot of important aspects to the job that we do, and there are lots of important skills and tools that we need to use, but for me, none is more important than building trust, than building a connectedness and a rapport with a family that we've been working with, particularly when we know that these families, from what they've gone through, have had that trust and that expectation other people shattered. So for me, I want to share a bit of a story with you about a family that I worked with not too long ago. This family had a child who was 5 years old who was sexually abused by a family member, and this mother was now living on her own with her child in a very rural, isolated community. So this mother, being her own advocate, got on the internet and really did some research around agencies that might be able to support, and she actually found us, and she phoned in. And that first phone call, I can just remember hearing in her voice just how incredibly distraught. And in that phone call, she described to me what was going on for her and what was going on for her family. And I listened, and I was doing all that attentive stuff that we know how to do, and making noises to let her know that I was really listening, and paraphrasing back for her, you know, when I thought there was important aspects that I wanted to, just to make sure she knew I'd heard. And at the very end, when she exhausted everything that she wanted to say, I remember very clearly just saying to her, you know what, I understand and I hear you, and you know what, we can be there and we can do something to help. Let's think a little bit creatively, let's think outside of the box as to how we can support you, so very far away, but how we can support you right down here in the metro area. And just her voice just lifted, and you could hear this sigh from her that I just knew. I knew that she felt cared for and she felt listened to, and she was finally being heard, and someone understood and was able to give her some practical support and some practical advice on where to go from here. And I remember thinking in my head, you know what, this mother really needs something more concrete. She needs a plan. She needs to know that I'm not just going to put this phone down today and not going to contact her again. She needed to have something more concrete and tangible to hold on to, so that I knew when she went away that tomorrow was going to be a better day than today was, because she knew she had that help and support. So we wrote a bit of a plan. She knew that I was going to take this back to my team, that I was going to get other disciplines involved, because I felt that there needed to be other people involved to help and support her. And as a team, we would all get together and we would talk about how and what was going to be the best way to think outside that box to get the help and support that family needed. And that included, you know, advocating on her behalf with some of the support agencies in her local community, and making sure they weren't putting this problem underneath the carpet anymore, that they were taking a hold of it, and they were going to be doing something they could do with our support as well.